Hey everyone, Don and Ash here,
Hello.
back for another reaction video. This time we're going to be taking a look at Arcane's Bridging the Rift, episode 1. It's been more than a week. We've struggled to find time to get into this one, but we've been really stoked and we've been waiting very anxiously to get into it.
Very anxiously.
Yeah, so it's been about 10 days now since we looked at the trailer. Like I said, we're going to be taking a dive into episode 1 and learning all about the start of the process into the creation of Arcane. One of the greatest shows that we've ever watched, I think.
Yeah, like hands down.
So this part 1 is called Only Dream and Risky. I think there's 5 or maybe 6 parts in total. Without further ado, let's just hop in. I'm so excited. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, other than just like same thing. So excited, just let's go.
All right, let's get it. When you're going to change the world, don't ask for permission. Let's go! Season 1, Episode 2.
With League, the thing is that you play these characters over and over and over. Hundreds, in some cases, thousands of hours people sit with these characters.
I'm actually just messing around in the jungler right now.
Who are you playing?
Mordekaiser. Because he's heavy metal.
They're always in this one map, in this one environment. And you start to wonder, like, where do they sleep? What do they eat? What is their normal life like? Like, what kind of families would they have?
We knew Arcane was going to be the very first deep story expression of League of Legends. There's enough video games where the audience asks for a movie or a show for years and years and years, and then they make it, and then it sucks. And then guess what? People stop asking. We were afraid of that. We were like, if we make something that isn't at least good, then we're really, really harming the League IP.
I'm like, was that a little clip from season 2? It said
Yeah.
S2. Yo, mad goosebumps, let's go! I'm already getting stoked at the videography, the way they're filming the interview.
Yeah.
Well done.
Right now, obviously, the phase is trying to wrap up season 1.
This is Echo with
Without hair.
Just oh yeah, without hair, right? I forgot. Here.
It will be the worst kept secret of the show. Everyone will know it's
Well-
Echo when they see him with the mask on. I mean,
You think?
yeah, of course.
In the trailer, I've seen like several videos, people analyzing it, and they're
There
like,
already is-
"Oh, this
there's already
character
people that say that it's
is
Echo.
absolutely not Echo."
Well,
I was
but
like,
okay,
yeah.
but so the second they see that he has the pocket watch,
Ah, true,
everyone
yeah.
knows he's like the
Yeah.
the boy who shattered time. I mean,
That's right.
Fooled us.
haha.
Hey,
Hey, how you do? I remember you showed me that we built like a special rig. And Jinx can kind of control going her face from going looking more childish to like
yeah,
adult.
yeah.
You have that somewhere to pull up?
yes. So when we first got the first rig of Jinx, the idea was to try to connect her somehow visually to what she was as a kid. Rounder face, bigger eyes, sadder look. We didn't want the typical like crazy girl laughing around like the Joker and just making no sense. We really wanted to make her feel like deranged and emotionally affected by what she went through as a kid.
Yeah, they did a great job at
We're
that.
a little bit worried about, when we get to the adult Jinx, that we just lose that, like, I don't know, that beautiful little soul that just just tries to prove to her older sister, like, hey, like, I can do this, like, believe in me.
The mapping is crazy.
I think we should never work on a project that doesn't offer us something personal to explore. I think for the story that we have, it's a story about family, it's a story about siblings that have a hard time forgiving each other. It's a world of technology kind of taking over and us feeling like we're losing control over it. I think that those are just things that we as people think about and care about, I think we want to also ask some questions that we think should be asked without necessarily giving you the answer, but at least asking like, hey, does a person, like Jinx deserve a second chance?
No kidding.
Can a monster ever be forgiven? I don't know.
for us to
if you can
decide.
figure out like what is something that if you love it, a lot of people would love it, that's where you really should go hard. And I think that's what we tried with Arcane. You know, we'll see, but I think it has potential.
Great success, boys.
All right, we're gonna pause it there. Yeah, so far, seeing the amount of work, how passionately they talk about the show, is honestly amazing. Obviously, that was just the first 5-ish minutes. We're about to really get into it now. I don't even know. Like, I really thought it was cool, like Ash said, to see the mapping. And there was just one part where he said about oh, I thought it was cool to see the heights of the different characters.
Yeah.
And then just the other part I want to bring up, you said about, like, our story is a story. Like, it's really relatable, Arcane in general, even though it is a fictional story in a fictional world. But some of the base, I guess, issues that they decide to tackle, especially between the whole sister dynamic there, is very relatable for a lot of people. And just, you know, um, not like I'm a sister with a sister or anything, but
I'm a sister with a sister.
yeah, no, but I can relate to, like, all the family struggles and aspects, and a lot of us can. So,
Yeah.
so stoked.
Yeah, no, this is it. I know it's gonna be such an incredible journey watching through all these. So like, I'm just so stoked already, and it's just like so humbling again from an artist's point of view to be able to deep dive into this sort of thing with them.
Yeah, and I'm quickly going to say, just from a cinematographer's point of view, the lighting, the framing of even this interview section, they really, even when they're not showing any of the artwork or anything about the show, you're really still connected to the story. And I think that's what a good cinematographer does. It's
Yeah.
literally all about how you convey a story. And I'm just like, me, as what I do for work, I'm just like so giddy about how they put the actual video together.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
This, of course, they've taken so much time with time and care, and like it's gonna show through and through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Famous scene.
How you doing, bud? The skinks. I've had them for 23 years now. I got them when I was 15 and definitely old enough to make that kind of commitment. The thing when you work on story is that, just generally speaking, it never stops. I feel like I just have voices in my head that argue a lot, and every now and again, something they say makes sense, and then you write it down. And that's basically, that's how the characters happen. These are obviously League of Legends characters mostly. I was original creative on like Riven up there, and Ari, and let's see, Wukong, Nautilus, Lee Sin, and there's just, I don't know, that guy I thought was cool.
So I did go to school for writing. I went out to LA. One of the things that I stumbled upon was a truly bare bones, desperate sounding Craigslist post for a video game startup. My first and consistent reaction to that was, this company has no chance.
Hold the phone. Hold the phone right there. He did not get into this whole career from a Craigslist post. Bro, get out of here. What are you saying to me?
Wow.
I'm like, yo.
Anything is possible, man.
www.craigslist.com. Yo, that is
unreal.
Look at this frame from the game in 2009. What am I looking at? Bro, I was literally looking for jobs today on a hit marker. If anybody knows what that is, the video game job posting website. And I'm just like, everything just seems so out of reach. But to hear the creative writer of Arcane and to, I guess, other characters in general on League talk about how he's just like, yep, Craigslist post. Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? My eyes are so wide. Like, my eyes, if they're not look wide right now, trust me, my soul is like, oh my God. All right, let's go.
I started playing in beta, and I found, the job offering to work in customer support at Riot on Craigslist.
would you let me to be interviewed by Alex?
Yep. For the record.
What?
I
Both
think
of them.
League was just really fun because it felt like there was kind of like the fingerprint of the people who made the game was so palpable when you played it because the characters were so quirky, they were so different. You could just kind of tell people were just enjoying making these characters.
Early champ concept meetings were so fun. We only had the one conference room, and it would just be everyone at the company who liked that, who was enthusiastic about it, just comes in and you'd show up with something, right? You'd be like, here's this sweet art that I found, or here's this idea that I just jotted down. How do we turn that into a champion?
So cool.
I think the reason that we focused on Jinx was because, I don't know, Jinx just always had this spirit at the company. Katie D'Souza
Wow.
did this, and it wasn't a sketch, it was like a full concept of what she called Psycho Arsenal. It was not so different, honestly, from what Jinx looks like right now. You know, the long pigtails and just kind of like guns all over the place. I mean, everyone just fell in love with it immediately.
Wow.
Yo, what?
Were characters that Alex and I always really liked.
Bravo, sis.
We worked on them together on, you know, the different kind of teams. Alex was working like the characters themselves, like their creative, their voiceover lines with, you know, other writers.
She's such a loser, always ready to cry.
And I worked on the music and then the cinematic on Jinx. So on the, I want to try something fun right now. So fun should have some kind of spike up, you know, like the screechy.
Okay, I'll try.
Oh my god.
Come on, shoot faster, just a little bit of energy.
Oh my god!
And you know, when Christian made Get Jinxed, that was, you know, the most storytelling I think we'd seen in a video at that point.
Wow. I have so much chills right now.
Started when Alex and I sat down together and were thinking what the devil we should be doing next.
Riot in general kind of struggled to put out like long-form narrative content. Our goal was to have deeper storytelling, right? To not just do video game action. Or as we at the company tend to call it, fight porn. I don't know if we call it that anymore, but that's what it always was.
Fight porn?
I just always had this sense of obligation to the players. You know, it just felt like we created these characters and the players answered us by spending so much time with them and loving them, and it just felt like they deserved to have better stories.
Whenever Jinx kills someone, she actually gets kind of like amped up. If basically the promise is
It
like,
would be nice to find some kind of thread, some sort of like emotional question thread.
We were just kind of talking, you know, like, man, how fun it would be to make something that's a bit bigger, you know, in the animation space, in the story space, and to kind of embrace all these different strengths that the team had developed over the years. Animation, music.
every child. That sounds dumb.
Building characters, stories, and just go deep on it. We had this amazing, amazing partner in Fortiche, this animation studio in Paris.
Yeah.
We worked with them on the Jinx music video, on the Imagine Dragons music video for Warriors.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
They just always had this like this X factor of like these beautiful visuals, it's super artistic and everything. It just kind of always clicked, you know?
I always thought that if there's any superpower that we had in the beginning to make Arcane a thing, it was whether or not we could really unleash the potential of Fortiche.
I'm so like giddy inside.
All right.
Like I've had so much body chill. I'm so amped.
Okay. Pause number two. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to watch the rest of this. I just want to go back to Hitmark and be like, Jobs, where's Craigslist? Craigslist 2.0? I know Craigslist doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately, but damn.
Yeah.
I'm blown away. Like, I'm blown away. I love to hear these artists be so humble and like Christian. to be trying to make a song in his little studio room there, and he's like, that
Yeah.
sucks. Like, I say that so much as a musician or as a videographer. I'm always going back like, that edit sucks. Like, no, trash. Like, always trying to perfect it. These make me so. They reinforce the belief that I can create something cool too.
I was like, I feel so seen.
Yeah, no, that's really what it is. Like, it's so relatable, even though their skill level, I would say, is like up here, and mine's not quite up there. It's still so relatable to hear somebody that that we revere as not just Christian, but like all of them, revere them as phenomenal artists who have done the difficult part of kind of swallowing your pride and just giving it your all, honestly. And they absolutely did. And I like how Christian says it all came down to whether we were able to unlock the basically the power of Fortiche, or the capabilities, or the
full potential.
Yeah, of Studio Fortiche. So
Yeah.
he definitely had vision. He had strong vision, and I personally am so thankful that they pushed so hard for it. I know that we all are. Like, everybody's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like,
So grateful.
just amazing. And then just the way this video was put together, I'm like, I don't think we're gonna hear anything about the videographer team that filmed this, but I want to give them props too.
Oh, yeah,
100%, because the color washes that go over screen that add emotion to the storytelling as we're hearing the people that work at Riot talk about their projects is amazing. This shot that's coming in I am assuming this is Paris. It says Paris on screen right now.
It's France. Yeah.
Like, just such a beautiful shot. Like, we're talking blue hour here in the morning. Oh, this is framed so well. Like, oh, this is so nice. I like the trees just framing the top of the frame there, and you got such a, oh, this is so good. Don't even get me started. Let's continue. Woo!
Okay.
My girlfriend's never seen a rollerblader before.
I was like,
Le problème, c'est de finir après avec un shot final où t'as Rémi qui serait
Whoa!
à gauche.
We have French. All right, hold on. Full captions. Hold on. We're going back. It says in French right there. Okay. I knew they'd get me with the French eventually.
Le problème, c'est de finir après avec un shot final où t'as Rémi qui serait beaucoup trop à gauche et lui qui serait beaucoup trop à droite, quoi.
The Buddha is the yes man of the company. He's saying yes to everything. Is this a good idea? Yes, it is. Can I do it? Yes, you can.
We do a mix of 2D and 3D because the 2D FX are done in 12 images by second, then and the animation it's 24 like all the movie. So you have a mix of style, geek with dirty.
I love this. So now we're talking about, this is where my brain's just gonna start doing all sort, like the gears are gonna start kicking in my head, because I'm like, we're talking about frame rates and how frame rates really affect just the visual storytelling in general, and the pacing, and how much information can be shown.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm right now, I'm like, my foot is to the floor. I'm like a knowledge sponge right now. I am dry. Wet me up. Let's go.
Yes.
Oh, they're going back to French. I guess this whole section is going to be probably with Fortiche. I'll just leave them on. Okay. No problem. Some of them speak English, some of them don't, I guess.
Yes.
Typiquement, moi je suis pas fan de la 3D pure et je trouve le style très intéressant, quoi.
She's drawing that?
C'est plus organique.
Some people are way too good at art.
How do you texturize something to look like a painting?
We paint.
We paint.
Yeah. She's like, what are you, dumb? Absolutely just god tier. Like, I cannot believe that somebody's drawing that.
So let's say you have like a character smoking a cigarette. Instead of having like a 3D smoke being simulated by 3D tools, it's actually 2D drawn, frame by frame, and gets this almost cartoony effect.
Dude!
In fact, I start to do this 2D mix and 3D since 20 years with music video.
On est en train de maltraiter.
For me, it's a new way to do animation. It's not anime, it's not full CG, it's a mix of everything.
I love it.
Are you feeling good about season one?
It's an interview right now.
Ah!
Oh yeah, I'm not in the good mood.
I met Arnaud in a party. Arnaud was doing fun, cool music video with no money.
Je faisais de l'animation, mais c'était tout le temps un peu expérimental.
Wow.
Média, en stop motion, mais souvent avec une grosse partie quand même live action.
Cheers.
Ask Pascal a little bit.
As what?
Maybe another day. A little bit drunk, maybe it's gonna be easier.
I met Pascal, he was the best guy for doing character in Paris.
When I was a kid, my dream was to make comic books or work on, for Marvel and stuff like that. I like characters. I like how you can bring personality and bring story.
I think back then I just found these tests that they would do where you go like, man, like this looks different. This doesn't look like the typical expensive Hollywood animation production. This looks very French.
I think he liked the mood because it was more adult, more lighting with flares and haze and something more like a live action movie.
Fortiche from the very beginning had this very unique approach to camera, making you feel like there's a person filming whatever's happening.
100%.
There was an imperfection that could only be human in how it moved and how it felt.
Hello?
To be
Fortiche?
fair, the first answer when I went to the Riot leadership was like, I think we should make a TV show about our characters that is the highest budget ever spent on an animated series. It's gonna be great. The first answer was no, get out of the office.
That was like a oh crap. Like Christian has showed up with those like bold ideas and bold asks before, but this one was such a leap from sort of music video to like full animated show. It's so unbelievably daunting. And in the back of my mind, I'm just going, how am I going to talk Christian out of this? Like, how am I going to help him realize that like we're jumping the shark here?
Bro, let him jump the shark. Let that dude hop, skip, and jump across the entire Atlantic Ocean, brother. All the jokes, let's do this. Oh, I've never seen the Riot leaders before. I honestly thought they were like Chinese. Not that that's a problem or anything. I thought it was
them.
No, yeah. I don't even know who Riot's owned by right now. I guess them. Oh, unless they sold it. I'm so confused right now. I have so many questions. I'm gonna have to go on a Google spree after this. Absolutely amazing. Like absolutely amazing. I love to see this perspective too, and seeing how they basically got humbled.
Yes.
Yeah. They got humbled so hard.
They were like, yeah, we were like, no. And then, like, obviously they flipped a coin at some point and we are like, yeah.
Yeah. In the trailer, we know that Christian asked for $2,000. So whatever they came up with, like, whatever they presented was just so amazing
Yeah.
that they basically, if this is a game of chess between corporate and creative, creative got so good at the damn chess game that they put corporate into a checkmate times 10. You ain't getting out of this. KO Ken times 20. Man, Goku's going crazy on this. You're not getting out. Insane. All right. Oh my God. I'm so excited.
And then I came back and said, okay, give me like $2,000. And they're like, okay, fine. And so we just started, doing some concept art. It was like, okay, this looks really cool, right? Yeah, this looks pretty cool.
I thought it was a great idea, but I also knew how difficult it was to pull something like this off. We have something called the video game curse, which is very few games have adapted into film and television well.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the World of Warcraft movie for a quick 30 seconds and how garbage it is? I will not.
I was like, you're just not holding out on that
No,
one.
absolutely not. That movie was hot garbage. Like, it's not the actors and actresses' faults or anything like that. That movie and their whole take on live action was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. That was the dependence on Hollywood to create something great, and they literally have no idea. It's like CGI is so good nowadays that it's bad. If you ever heard that saying, CGI is so good nowadays that it looks completely fake. Yeah. Like, it doesn't even sell the idea of reality anymore. And I love Fortiche's approach because it seems like a modern take on the old way of doing movies that was way more believable, of miniature sets or animatronics mixed with a certain, like, just the right mix of CGI with the technology they had in the early 90s, early 2000s, with animatronics, more so in the early 90s and previously. And it made stuff look way more believable to the human eye.
And again, with that, just like frame by frame, like, visual to back that up.
Yeah. No,
or be the core of it. Sorry.
He is so right when he says few games have adapted into film and television well. I know that there is the Halo show. I think it's the Halo TV series that's out. I haven't watched a single episode of it, honestly, because I'm scared that it might suck. And this is like one of the greatest franchises of my childhood. Like when my buddy and I beat Halo 3 back in the day, we both cried. We sat there in silence crying for like 20 minutes because we had spent months, years getting towards the end and playing it co-op, and it was just the greatest journey ever. So yeah, what this dude is saying, the producer here, is absolutely spot on. I'm so impressed with how they pulled this off.
Yeah, they are just obviously super well aware of this caveat.
Yep.
One of the things that's really true that I think every creative can relate to is a lot of great creative ideas, they're fragile. They start off as a dream and an idea and a vision, and they haven't been fleshed out necessarily.
Okay, it was a little bit more. Now we can explore some 3D models and everything. Like $5,000. They're like, okay. And
I don't remember getting any of this money.
Anyway, not to linger on this very unimportant.
You got $2,000.
All right, this is our first behind the scenes in the writer's room. Alex, what year is it?
1922.
While we were developing the story, we also started working with Fortiche on these little spikes, of like, hey, what would it look like if Vi was just in her apartment in Piltover, and she's like venting about how Powder, her little sister, is just always messing up. It was just a test of like, hey, like, can we even do animation where acting feels good?
All you had to do was run, Powder. Didn't we spend a bunch of time preparing you for this? You and I?
In the back of my mind, I was going, I kind of hope this loses steam because this is so unbelievably ambitious. Like, I don't know how in the world we're going to pull this off.
You got to believe, brother.
It's the best idea.
You got to believe.
That's when I said, okay, could you give me like, I think it was like $65,000 or so.
This boss is like, what?
Bro! He's like,
oh!
Vi!
There was this fight scene, it was sort of this animation test with Jace and Vi on a rooftop.
Whoa!
It was so sick, just in terms of how the characters were expressed and how they came to life.
Oh!
Like all those little incremental tests they were just like, yeah, we need more of this.
Yeah? Yo, look at the old fight gloves. I love how Jace kicked her the glove to fight.
Yeah.
I think that was the time when think they realized that I'm probably serious about this project.
Yeah, just a bit.
Well, I mean, you have concept art now for the characters, for environments, you have 3D models, you have animation test, you have material that we've had developed for the pilot. And I was like, are we gonna do this or not?
Woo! Let's go, my dude! That dude's tenacity, I love it.
Yeah.
Think about it as like, oftentimes not knowing what we're getting into was an advantage, because I think if we did know, we would have said, there's no way.
I mean, animation tests, it was beautiful, right? But it was just a small snippet of what the full series would be, and there were so many questions about like, well, what is the full story?
To me, the stakes are really high because we want to be respectful of players' time and trust. I'd for sure much rather not do a show than releasing something that's just okay.
I don't know if anyone among Riot's leadership necessarily thought that we would definitely be able to do it, but I think they all understood that we just had to try. You know, I mean, like this was a bet. It was a risky bet. You just kind of have to, at some point, make that bet. You know, otherwise, it's only gonna be ever a theory.
Fortiche was 5 people, so we had to build a studio of now 200, 250, 300 people, which is like, how do you build an animation studio? You know, we're a game company. How do you do that?
At that point, Fortiche had produced 2, 3, 4-minute music videos.
That's it.
Le pari pour Christian et Riot, c'était est-ce qu'on était capable de sortir 5 heures, 6 heures de film. Et non plus, on ne savait pas.
When I met Christian, I remember him talking about the character arcs and what's gonna happen in that episode, and you know, I've already that in mind, and it's gonna be like so emotional. And I was like, dude, you're crazy. We haven't even started the first minute of the show. I don't think he was realizing what he was getting into, but I think he was a fool. But the excitement he had when he was talking about the show made the difference to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Even when there are a lot of question marks and obvious concerns, and on paper it's not supposed to work because, you know, the experience isn't there and the resume isn't there. Like, that's precisely when it's worth jumping into the deep end of the pool and learning how to swim.
Il y avait plus de peur pendant le test que finalement quand on a commencé à faire le pilote. C'est là où on a pu mettre tout ce qu'on avait un peu en nous, toutes nos références, où il y a eu ce côté, le côté geek, grâce à Christian et Riot, quand on a vu qu'ils nous laissaient les clés.
So incredible!
I'm in shock. I literally don't know what to say. Like, I am in shock. I'm literally in shock that Fortiche started as 5 people with 2 or 3 short music videos, and Riot and somehow Christian convinced. Like, I don't know what to say. Fortiche attracts French top animators to join the project. They expand from a team of 30 people to 100. Unreal, my guy.
I'm so blown away. And once we're spent animating the first episode.
Yeah. 10 months. Holy cow.
Basically, we had the pilot, wrapped up more or less, and now was the time to start working on the rest of the first season.
We had an entire arc for the first season, I mean, filled with moments, lots of art, lots of exploration, different locations, different characters.
Wow.
We were already feeling the pressure of the sort of pipeline rolling.
These episodes take a tremendous amount of time to animate, and once the episode is in various stages of animation, changes are possible, but any change is tremendously disruptive in terms of the amount of time and resources it takes to sort of, so you're kind of locked in.
So yeah,
Gotta do it now.
There was a meeting on my calendar, and I went to Brand's office, and there was like a bunch of people in there.
He basically he called me and told me like, hey, I just talked to Brandon and like everyone.
It was basically like an intervention meeting.
Oh.
And by the way, that's what we do for everything, even in game. If we're like on the cusp of launching and we think it's not right, like we'll stop, we'll hold, we'll pivot, we'll cancel.
Perhaps it's time I cut my losses.
I mean, I think with everything creatively, you're always kind of waiting for that hammer to fall. We wanted to make sure the story that players got lived up to their expectations. If we couldn't do that, then we shouldn't do that.
Man!
The consensus was, you don't have the story yet, and it's not going to work,
No! Oh my god! I literally can't even imagine, like, what if they gave up? Like, I'm so happy that didn't happen.
I am blown away. I almost want to like cry. Like, I'm not even kidding, because like it's so crazy inspirational as someone who's trying to I've tried to work for myself for the past 5 years, and it's been the most hard and humbling experience ever, and to hear that these people basically started from nothing, essentially, right? Like they started from nothing, and it's they fought so hard to produce what I personally have enjoyed as one of the greatest experiences in my life, as far as a show, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I had things to say, and I'm just my brain is going blank because I'm overwhelmed. I'm honestly overwhelmed, and I'm getting pretty emotional about this. There's it's just so good. There's so much to look up to, and to and so many lessons of inspiration, and there's so much motivation to take from this, is not just a creator, but literally a business owner. Like
Yeah.
deciding to become a business owner, it's affected my whole life. It's something that it's not like a 9 to 5 where you just get to do it and then walk away. My whole life has been dedicated to try and make this work through incredibly difficult odds, and hearing him, yes, they work essentially in a 9 to 5, but it's still creative, having to prove themselves to get the work, essentially. Like, they still have to prove their idea to get the project pushed through.
Yeah.
So that fight is something that is words can't really sum that up. I'm positive that Christian had many emotional nights where he looked in the mirror or sat alone by himself, thinking and doubting, and coming back to that question countless times. Am I doing the right thing? Is this worth it? Am I not wasting my time? And as a creator, these thoughts are so heavy. It's so incredibly heavy. They can honestly crush your project before you even flesh it out. And like they said earlier in this video, it was the Riot owners or the Riot founders that said it. When you like sometimes even when the experience isn't there, but you have idea that you just believe so much in, it's time to just jump in the deep end and figure out how to do it. This brings me back to times working on our cars. We have 2 older Volkswagen cars that we've put together, and it's they mean a lot to us. And nobody taught me how to build a car, but I built my first car, and I've done a lot of work to her car. And nobody ever taught me how to do any of this. It came from a place of, this inspires me so much. There's something about this that inspires me so much that no matter what, I'll figure out how to do it. And that's been my that's been my mind. It's been my mindset going, trying to get everything done from something as small as that to my business, which is so much harder than building a car. I'll be completely honest. And it is. Listen, building a car you can figure out in a couple weeks. I'll be completely honest. I did it in a couple weeks. But learning how to build a business is incredibly hard, and I'm just so thankful to have seen this. I can't wait for part 2 and the rest of them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree so much here with Dawn. Like, it's, you want to be like, oh, it's so inspirational, but it feels like that almost doesn't even cut it. It runs so much deeper than that. From everything, again, especially artistic point of view to everything Dawn has mentioned about the business end of things, but just the like sheer will and passion, I think, of Christian wanting to push that train forward so persistently is like thank goodness. Like, honestly, like I said, I can't imagine Arcane not existing at this point. So, like, good Lord, thank you so much for just like not taking no for an answer, basically.
Mr. Christian Link.
May we have a word?
Listen, I don't assume he'll ever see this, but if he does ever, thank you so much. From the bottom of my heart, as not just a creative, but a business owner and somebody who, as many other people, has had an experience with this show that is beyond words.
Yeah.
Positively beyond words.
Yeah.
Thank you. That doesn't, there's no other word. Just thank you from the bottom of my heart. Yeah. The videographers that filmed these interviews and told, are telling the Bridging the Rift story,
Yeah.
are incredible as well. Thank you to them. So many wonderful shots, honestly, that I think a lot of people don't think about, but it's always, a videographer's job to tell a story, and they the story here is told just as good as Arcane.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's done so exceptionally well that
Yeah.
it's like on that same level where like
it's not just the storytelling, but
it's
the visuals.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
all the cuts, all the things they decided to show us, all the little thrill moments, like the Alex talking about all the characters he's created.
Yes.
It doesn't really have anything to do with the creating Arcane itself, but it's just a cool little side piece of information.
Yeah.
That is really it connects you to the creators, right? It connects you
Yeah.
to the story overall. So that sort of fluff or filler is very
It's just,
enjoyable.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's just as meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important fluff.
Yes.
Damn it.
Yeah. How you gonna have a comforter with no fluff? I don't really have much more to say because my brain just turned to mush. I'm honestly I'm very motivated, and I want to hop back into Blender. We've somebody's called us out. I remember on the KDA video somebody called us out. I thought you'd enjoy this more because you said you were into Blender. I'm like, listen, I am not an animator. I didn't go to school to be an animator or be a 3D. It's come from that thing of I want to build something cool. Same thing when I wanted to build a car. I'm not a mechanic. I didn't even know how to do an oil change before I started building that car. Literally did not know anything. My video stuff, I didn't know how to video edit before. People just, it's like looking on YouTube to learn how to do something. It's the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Blender, but I thought it was cool, and I thought that creating stuff that I might see in my head, or like I'm a goofball where I'm always making up like characters' personalities in my head, or like little voices, or little just funny moments in my head. So to be able to bring these to life was like the missing skill. It was like the missing link for me, and it bothered me enough one day that I was just like, that looks cool. How is it made? I want to do it.
I'm gonna try it.
And then, in a couple days later, we made our first together. We made our first donut.
We did the donut tutorial.
Yeah, in Blender, which it was just cool. It was cool. So
honestly, yeah, it kind of brought so much of what was possible, I guess, to life. To be like, it's not. It takes a lot of time, of course, but it's not that far out of reach, so to speak, if you stick to it.
Yeah,
like it just made it. It made it closer to reality.
It taught us a bunch of skills that now it's been a bit since we've done it, but I'm sure that we can pick it up, and if we continue it, you really never know. They proved it here.
Yeah,
you literally don't know. From Craigslist to one of the greatest shows ever. I think anybody would say that watching it.
Yeah.
The possibilities are, the sky is not the limit. The galaxy is like the limit. Like, the possibilities are endless. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So,
I'm like, man, that was only episode 1.
yeah, I really enjoyed that. I know that I just had like a gaped face a lot of the time, but I just didn't know what to say because it was
Yeah.
incredible. So I really want to know how you guys feel about episode 1, everything from how it related to your personal struggles as a creative, as a business owner, as anything, just a viewer or just an enjoyer
Yeah.
of the series. Maybe there's things that maybe you're in the industry and you work on stuff like this as well, so you can relate to the struggle in that sense. I want to hear your stories.
Yeah.
And maybe this has inspired you to get into art or into the industry, from anything from a producer to the story writing, to the actual animation or any of the artwork side
It's
of
like,
it.
yeah, all the character design people out there. I know like so many artists have like their OG characters. So like, have you flushed one out? Has it been a while? Did you put something down and just need to fix it, or
Yeah.
finish it? Sorry, not fix it, finish it.
Yeah, no, just let us know how this affected you and your favorite moments from this video. And other than that, I think I can't wait to get into episode 2.
Yeah, sooner rather than later this time.
We'll try not to be a week plus this time.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I don't think I've forgotten anything. Let us know if there's anything that anything that bothered you about kind of like the process that Christian had to go through. Like, for example, did it bother you that like maybe like the Riot founders weren't listening at first, or that they were apprehensive at first? Let us know everything. Your thoughts on everything. I want to see it all in the comments down below. This is fantastic, and can't wait to do more of these. So,
Yes.
as always, please like, share, and especially subscribe for following us along with the series Bridging the Rift. And as always, we will see you in the next one. All right, bye.